What up, y'all? I'm back with another review, and I'm here to review the newest EP from Clear Soul Force's own, Detroit's own Noveliss. I've been listening to Noveliss since like June, July of 2016 when he dropped the Mic Swordz EP, which I still keep going back to. He dropped Dilla Instinct EP back, um, shoot, sometime like between March or April through May, and I enjoyed that project. But Mic Swordz, man, that is like for me at least. I've only been listening to him for like pretty much a year and a half. This is the third project that I've heard from him, and reviewing it as well. And Mic Swordz, like that's just like the peak for him as far so far. I'm sure he's gonna top that. Shoot, he came very close to topping it here. I'm not gonna lie. Um, One thing about Noveliss is I like him not as an artist, but also as a person. Like we have the same interests, like two mm, wrestling, anime, comic books, and things like that. Uh, Shoot, especially samurai type of stuff when it comes to anime, and like we're into that type of art of this, like live and die by the sword type of stuff. Like that's just we share that in common. So to say that he's one of my favorite artists um, is cool to say because I also like him as a person. I've had the uh, pleasure to interview him as well. You can check the interview out on oktho.com. I've been interviewing a few artists lately that are some of my favorites. So very happy to say that I've been doing that. And let's go ahead and get right into this review though. 8 tracks, like 30 minutes, and let's go ahead and get right into it. And just, I, I'm pretty sure I forgot to even say what the title of the EP is. Kenjutsu Under the Moonlight. The first track is called Calligraphy. Right here, he's making himself extremely vulnerable, like talking about um, living from check to check. I like the Andre references he had, like in We Like Neck to Neck type of stuff. He loves rapping, but it's not really paying the bills. I think he said like the dreams bought the car, but it ain't paying like the mortgage and everything, utility fees and stuff like that. And he's talking about also like working and stressing yourself, working and stressing yourself to death, trying to run from himself, and how he's broken beyond repair, like how he can't even be sober anymore, and just having memories of his friendship. Talking to him about this project, it was dedicated to um, well, a lot of, but two especially fallen friends of his, Nujabes as well. Um, but yeah, and he said here he feels like a failure to one of his friends, and I was like, damn, that is fucked up. Especially now that he's passed, like you really can't do much about it. Uh, but yeah, deep track. It was like 6 minutes long, but it did not like overstay its welcome. Like there was something to be said as the time progressed in it. Track number two, Tales of a Samurai. This is one of the tracks I actually downloaded. I think I downloaded like three, maybe four tracks on this album, but ah man, Afro Samurai stuff right here. Maybe some Peacemaker, Carol Gang stuff. I haven't seen Afro Samurai. That's the thing, though. I've been meaning to check it out. It's kind of a shame to call myself a freaking um, feudal Japan anime lover, and I haven't seen um, Afro Samurai. But it kind of felt like you might be talking about Peacemaker, Carol Gang as well, because it kind of like the same way. Like you lost your parents at a young age; they were assassinated, um, and you, by the kindness of a sensei or something like that, you were taken in. You grew up to be who you are now. It's kind of like how it was in Peacemaker Carol Gang. If you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. But if you've seen Peacemaker Carol Gang or um, Afro Samurai, you know like the tale he is rapping about based off what I've given you. Um, and some Samurai Champloo skits more. There were some on the first track as well. Track number three, All the Time. This is him talking about being on the point all the time, like just grinding all through the night, losing sleep, um, writing for your serenity, and how Always got the notebook with you. See, I don't think that's a Death Note notebook reference at all, but still, like you could, I guess you could piece that together maybe if it is supposed to be there. It's just that freaking hip hop. That's what this track is. Now what was this he said right here? Um, at the end where the guy who Jin fought in Samurai Champloo saying someday we will avenge him, talking about their master that Jin had killed. He said someday we will avenge him. I feel like that's another like saying like yo one day I will avenge my fallen friend and friends as well. Check number 4, Rolling Stone. This if Noveliss had a greatest hits album as time went on, and as I go back and check other stuff that he's dropped, if he was to have a greatest hits album, there's no way that this track could not get on there. This is like it hit me like freaking Last Words did on Mic Swordz. I was like, damn. I mean, talking about living like a Rolling Stone, never staying in one place long enough to enjoy or experience that place, and how he's a he lost his mother, I believe. He's a full time father. He just does not have enough time for everything, but he still manages to um, he still manages to have a time for both of them, and well, everything really. And it's just like, this beat, man. I was like, yo, like this is really hitting me like it's Last Words off of Mic Swordz. Track number 5, Flow Provider featuring Mike Phelps. Um, what I got from this is that both MCs are really saying like, while niggas are procrastinating and being on freaking World Star, being distracted as hell and on Instagram, we working. That's what I'm getting from this. And freaking Mike Phelps, I had to, I caught it right when he said it. Sometimes you hear something and you don't catch it on the first listen. I caught this reference. I mean, not reference. I caught this line on the first listen when he said "blunt loud." It's on speakerphone. Yo, that was some shit right there. I was like, oh goodness. I wrote that down immediately. Huh. Even if I didn't write that down, I feel like I would have been able to remember that just like that. Huh. Under track number 6. Saying like it's like a jungle sometime makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like life just getting to you, which is what you're getting off this album. Like Noveliss making himself vulnerable to speaking on his problems out in the open like this. So yeah, track number 7, Swordplay featuring Clear Soul Forces. Uh, it wasn't LAZ. One of the, or it might have been. One of the dudes said it wasn't Noveliss either, but one of the guys said um oh, like I said, it wasn't Noveliss. I don't think it was LAZ, but it might have been. But it definitely was not Noveliss saying like ape shit like Mojo Jojo. I was like, yeah, that's a cool. I like that. Freaking Powerpuff Girl reference over here. I fuck with that. And just to have the freaking Clear Soul Forces, man. Just the forces, man. Detroit hip hop, man. Like, whew, the Midwest as a whole, Chicago, Detroit, like they have their own respective people out here doing what they do and like just making essential shit, if you ask me. And the last track on here, Stare at the Moon. The third one of the tracks I downloaded. This Rolling Stone and Tales of a Samurai. And I want to say no, I didn't download all the time. But yes, this track as well, I downloaded it. Stare at the Moon. Yo, when this is another thing that I caught on the first listen. He said, "Move to my own percussion and play these drums in the snow." I mean, a snowstorm. I was like, "Yo, let's freaking go!" Like this shit is like the wordplay, man. Whew. And just saying like just gazing at the moon, writing and talking about this stuff like working 2 jobs and going to class. It wasn't this track, I don't believe, or it might have been. He said something like, "I didn't even try weed until like my 3rd year in college," and he thought back to, at least on this track, he thought back to memories of playing with his friend. I want to say it was BT again, Just memories of like playing football, growing up with him, um, sleeping at his friend's house because his mom was mad at him, I believe. Wrestling in the house, putting a hole in the wall. It's like just the shit that you do when you were a kid, like things you remember. Like I was like, dang, because I remember stuff like that. I remember going over wrestling niggas, breaking some, breaking shit. Niggas coming over my house, breaking some stuff. Well, I was still breaking it. They weren't, but I was breaking it. But still, like, um, kind of nostalgic just based off that I can relate to that. So overall, a very good project. I don't think it's better than Mic Swordz, but that Rolling Stone is right there with Last Words off of Mic Swordz. This, if you ask me, is a 7 to a 7.5 out of 10. If you've heard this project, go ahead and let me know what you think about it in the comment section below and what you think about my review on it. And if you haven't heard this project, I definitely recommend you check it out. Check the description. You can check it out for yourself. Listen to it. Come back. Let me know what you think about it and what you think about my review on it. And yeah, you know what to do. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you like what you see. Uh, Check the description again for everything: social medias, PlayStation Network, PayPal, Venmo, Square Cash, Bandcamp, Patreon, those 5 in particular, or for if you want to support my movements as far as YouTube, music, entertainment, etc. Uh, thank you for watching. Um, Logic, man. I mean, why did I say Logic? Noveliss. Um, 3 for 3, man. 3 for 3. I mean, you got Mic Swordz, you got Dilla Instinct, 5-track EP that was cool, it was hitting, and now you got this, which is my first project that I was anticipating. Mic Swordz, I was told about it, saw it on Dead and Hip Hop, and you know, I just got to it. Then Dilla Instinct dropped, and I was like, whoa, he just dropped it. I saw it on Twitter. I just happened to be passing by as it was tweeted out, but this I knew was coming, and I'm proud to say, that I'm on it. You're 3 for 3, and I've interviewed you. It's like I like what's going on here. So yeah, thank you for watching. And if like Noveliss, if you are watching, keep it up, dude. And I'm definitely checking for the next project. Thank y'all for watching. See y'all next time.